AI is poised to destroy jobs of cashiers to cardiology surgeons, truck drivers to technical writers. And everyone is hating software developers for building this AI that is impacting all these jobs. But now, Cognition Labs has introduced Devin, the first AI software engineer, and the irony is this AI is built to disrupt the jobs of its creators, the software engineers themselves. Is this a story of one cutting the branch he's sitting on? Is Devin really the devil many software engineers are thinking it is? And let me give you a hint. It may not be as scary as you think. So let's talk all about it today with my opinion on how to get ahead of this coming towards the end of this video. By the way, let's also play a small game while we are at it. I will deliberately lie or make a mistake in this video, and you must point that out through comments. I will do a raffle of all the correct answers, and the winner will get a $5 Amazon gift card. So let's make it a little bit of fun. I will also let everyone know who won the raffle. I will be very transparent. You can either mention the timestamp or the topic of the mistake in the comments. Okay, let's go. First, let's dig into Devin a little bit. Let's start with Devin's capabilities. According to Cognitive Labs, Devin can learn how to use unfamiliar technologies. Devin can build and deploy apps end-to-end. Devin can autonomously find and fix bugs in code bases. Devin can train and fine-tune its own AI models. Devin can address bugs and feature requests in open source repositories. And finally, Devin can contribute to mature production repositories, which means Devin sets up the code environment, reproduces the bug, and codes and tests the fix on its own. Can Devin really do all this? I don't know, but I will take these statements by their face value because even if they are false, which I'm not stating they are, but even if they are, it doesn't matter because they will be true not too long in the future. So, what does it mean to us? Is Devin coming for our jobs? This coin has two sides, as all coins do, the scary side and not so scary side. So let's talk about both today, starting with the scary side first. Cognitive Labs claim that Devin was asked to resolve real-world GitHub issues found in open source projects, and Devin correctly resolved 13.86% of the issues end-to-end, far exceeding the previous record of 1.96%. Again, this is from Cognitive Labs. Depending upon who you ask, it may sound impressive because it's a significant improvement from the previous records, or not too impressive because the success rate is only around 14%, which is almost 96% short of 100. Regardless of how you feel, remember that Devin is just getting started, and this percentage will definitely improve in the future. Technology does get better over time after all. And if Devin doesn't break this record, maybe a future Kevin will, right? So now the critical questions, right? Will Devin impact the software engineers? Unfortunately, the answer is yes. Unlike common belief, IT jobs are most impacted by AI. People think that IT jobs are safe from AI, but no, that is not true. Studies put this number at as high as 73%, with finance taking the second place. Those are the jobs that are most impacted by AI. So, okay, enough. My job here is not to scare you, although I'm here to state the facts. So, the fact is, yes, AI will impact software engineers' jobs. Trust me, but this story is not as scary as you think. So, let us start looking at the other side of this coin. I will break the other side into 4 points, and the story progressively gets better from here. Number 1, the purpose of Devin is to complement software engineers, not to get rid of them. That is the fact. According to Cognition Labs, Devin is a tireless, skilled teammate, equally ready to build alongside you or independently complete tasks for you for your review. With Devin, engineers can focus on more interesting problems, and engineering teams can strive for more ambitious goals. This is what Cognition Labs claim. But regardless of what the owner of Devin, that is the Cognition Labs, say, if Devin can do most of the tasks a software developer does, as we have seen earlier, wouldn't that eliminate jobs? That brings me to my point number 2. The idea here is to move jobs elsewhere to more interesting and value-add areas. You should look at automation. In this case, Devin AI in the context of growing demand for information technology and growing population. Unless we complement our software engineers with automation tools and make their jobs and lives easier, we will not have the human power to innovate further and meet this ever-growing demand. Well, but me making one statement like this will not convince you that Devin is not after your job. I get it. However, this is a complicated topic. I cannot convince you with all the facts today, but I have done a whole series of videos with a whole bunch of facts, statistics, and graphs. They are still in production, unfortunately. I mean, these videos take time to produce. So hence, stay tuned. You will probably get a good idea. Now, the third point on this subject, it will take time for Devin to come into full force. Growing the number of GitHub issues solved from 14%, let's say even to 40%, will not happen over time. While technology will improve, it will take some time. So you got some time on your side if you believe you will be impacted by Devin. Now, what can you do about it will come towards the end of this video. Fourth point on this subject. This phenomena is nothing new. If it gives you any comfort, Devin has uncles and aunts and cousins that have been disrupting software engineering jobs for a while now. By the way, this topic is very personal to me, not just because I work in technology, but for the fact that I personally started my career as a software developer, although it was a long time ago. While there were IDEs, I mean integrated development environments back then, they were pretty primitive, and we even used to write code in a WordPad from scratch. I'm sure for some it might show my age a bit, but who does that these days, right? I mean, who codes in a WordPad these days? These IDEs became more and more powerful, providing so many tools in the form of abstract layers on top of abstract layers of the code, drag and drop functions that help developers code easier and easier. So all these functions that IDEs added just made the jobs of developers easier. Then came low-code and no-code environments that made coding even more easier. Whenever a task becomes effortless, you absolutely need fewer people to do that task, eliminating some jobs. So in that context, Devin is simply the next variant in the evolution of coding automation. So my point here is we all should have already gained immunity to this phenomena, and Devin should not scare us. However, I get it. This disruption has been happening, doesn't give any comfort to today's software developers who may be thinking they will be impacted by Kevin. I get it. It happened in the past doesn't mean much to the future. So let's talk about who may be impacted and what they can do. In my opinion, any coding job that is done remotely through limited back and forth interactions are at risk of losing to Devin, unfortunately. For example, is a specification sent to an offsite location where the code is built and sent back for testing? Is code being remotely monitored or debugged? Are defects logged in a system and are fixed remotely? These are some examples of jobs that are at risk. And again, unfortunately, that's what it is. By the way, pay attention to limited back and forth interactions, because I don't want all those millions that work from home today to jump off their seats. Limited interaction is the key. So if you are a software developer watching this video, what can you do? The answer is very simple. Transform into a software engineer from a software developer. While again, software engineer is a pretty broad term, be the one solving problems, not necessarily implementing those solutions. Be the one interacting with the business, understanding their challenges, and coming up with creative solutions rather than, again, implementing those solutions. Leave the implementation of these solutions to Devin or maybe a future Kevin. Treat Devin like your helper. Give the coding task to him and be his boss, giving him a spec to bring it to reality, review his work, and update if needed. Again, remember, the only way to minimize disruption from Devin is to get ahead of him. And by the way, this is simply my personal opinion. Please do your own due diligence before acting. And if you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button for more content like this. I'm also working on an interesting new series where we take a simple topic and bring a completely different perspective. I'm still working on a title for that series, but currently I'm debating between facts and perspectives or what comes to your mind. These are the two working titles for the series. I will let you know as soon as it's ready, and I will also take your opinion before finalizing a title for this series. So please stay tuned.